prayer as we come together in Sunday service. Thank you, dear Lord, for the blessings of this season, the blessings of this family, as we come together to share the lives of God as within us in the world, and help us to create the perfect presentation moving forward. We welcome you from wherever you are, Unity Church of Kona. And as we start with the prayer chant, the Eomai for the wine culture, beseeching the Great Spirit above for the wisdom of the story. As we gather, we want to know why. Why are we having these experiences? And so the highest octave, oh, Great Spirit, grant us the wisdom of these experiences so we don't have to relive them over and over again. And so it is with prayer. We say, Amen. Thank you, God. Okay. And as we get started with the service today, I'd like to ask everybody to please stand as we do our affirmation for the month, as well as our vision and mission statements. We're here at Unity. We start with a vision as a world family of oneness, peace, and love. With a mission to inspire spiritual growth and service through the active practice of love, prayer, faith, joy, and honoring everyone as a child of God. And with the affirmation for the month of December being life. Together, I am filled with life, sweet life. And so it is. And now, as I got you standing, let's get our singers on board and we'll do our opening song as we come together.
Here you go, girl. The Superman dash.
Yeah, I don't know if I had my microphone.
Oh, good.
Welcome, everybody.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the voice in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me.
Ooh, we come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me.
Ooh, we come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We together.
We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
From every walk of life,
Every walk of life,
every creed and color,
every creed and color.
and get your feel nice.
Get your feel nice.
In honor of the God in each other.
Take a
Look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Woohoo! While we're all standing, take 5 minutes and greet each other. Maybe not quite that long, but share a handshake or a hug as we start our Sunday service here. If you're joining us online, it's time to leave a little comment in the comment section. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, whatever we're on. Join us here at the church. We appreciate it. We always like to welcome our guests and visitors with a great big aloha and God bless you. Woohoo! And there we are, as we all come together in this beautiful Sunday morning in Kailua Kona. Kakaiaka e komamai. Good morning and welcome. And as we get started with the service, there's a few announcements, and we'd like to congratulate our team member of the month. First and foremost, we are a prayer ministry. So the You Pray app. You can download the app on your iPhone, Android, and get immediate response from Unity of the Summit, Missouri, Unity Village. And so 30 days consecutive prayer vigils, 24 hours, using the power of prayer. And we also have the prayer request box in the back of the sanctuary, so fill out your forms, put them in there. Our chaplains will pray over them and then send them on to Silent Unity. This is a wonderful way to motivate with prayer, the loving support of your family through prayer. And as you can listen to short meditations and view many affirmations. You can also call the church here, 808-322-0885, or send us an email, unityofkona@gmail.com. And again, we love the power of prayer, and this is what we're all based on. So utilizing the tools we have at hand. Team member of the month is Ellen Albertson. Thank you, Ellen. Elaine Albertson. And so she's joined our choir, volunteered to help in recent fundraisers, bringing Onalicious food and fellowship, and is an active part of our community. So we thank you so much, Elaine, for your love and your kindness and your support here at the church. We truly greatly appreciate it. You're a bright, shining light for everyone within your presence. So we are grateful to the spirit of aloha and your willingness to serve. So we do love you, Elaine. Join us for the board meeting today at 11:30. All are welcome to watch the board meeting as we discuss the church business. There's lots of things we go over, and we appreciate your interactions with the board service here. And now we have the special Christmas lighting service. We're looking for volunteers for next Sunday to light the candles and do the readings. So if you're interested, we're passing around a sign-up sheet now. And so sign up for doing the readings and lighting candles next Sunday, as the Christmas service will be done here live with Reverend Sophia Falke. So we're really excited to have Reverend Sophia back on island. So thank you, Reverend. So sign the list so we can participate in the service next Sunday. And now I'm supposed to call up Sean, who is going to give us the opportunity to assist the families with the angel trees. Sean, if you would. Thank you.
Oh, good morning, everybody. So, as most of you or all of you know, there's a tree right up at the top of the stairs that has angels on it. And each angel is an assistance for one of three families, or if they're gift cards, they're for all three families. So if today your heart is called, there's about 15 more gift requests up there, along with a bunch more gift card little angels that you could pull. And because we got about half of them, we have about 15 gifts already coming in. So if you feel the pull, go ahead and go on up and pull an angel off the angel tree. Bring it to me so I can take a picture of it so I know who's got what. And today was kind of the deadline, but I can give you 2 more opportunities this week to bring gifts. After the meditation I do on Tuesday night, so make sure you come after at 7:30. You can bring the gift, or if you want to attend the meditation, you can bring it with you. Or after Kayla's sound healing on Thursday at 7:30. So each of them end at 7:30. So if you're not coming to the event, you can bring it after, and make sure you bring it wrapped with the angel securely affixed to the gift. So, all right, let's get these families helped. Thank you.
And if you're joining us online, maybe you can just contact the church, 808-322-0885, and request to participate in the angel tree. So we're looking for volunteers and help from all over the world, because now we're broadcasting as we're getting it out there. Let's share the aloha, share the love. And now I'm happy to announce continuing of the tradition of the gift exchange, which is generally a small gift for the people here in the sanctuary next Sunday. No more than $20, or you can consider bringing a slightly used item, as we'll have some gifts here for the exchange on the Christmas Day service. So everybody bring a little something next Sunday. And also there's a reminder to join us for the evening self-healing meditation discovery with Sean on Tuesday, December 20th, 6:30 to 7:30, as well as Patrick and Kayla will be doing the sound bath on Thursday, December 22nd, 6:30 to 7:30. All is welcome. And so this is going out on all platforms. So join us here for services that aren't on Sunday. It's really an amazing way to get know your neighbors and share healing. The annual meeting takes place coming up in February, so we're looking for voting members. Anybody who's a voting member to the church, we need you, the Ohana, to join the board of directors, and so to seriously consider looking within yourselves to see if that you might be being called to serve and for that sacred work here in the community. And so the current board positions are open, including secretary, treasurer, as well as other members at large after filling these positions. Please contact in person Kayla, myself, Jim, Vince, or Dondi, or send us an email, unityofkona@gmail.com. And so we encourage you to potentially become a new board member and attend the next 2 months of meetings to see how they all go. So that's tonight is the board meeting today after service. So attend this one if you'd like. As you know, it takes a village to run this spiritual community, and so we appreciate everyone who would kindly consider supporting Unity of Kona with sharing your times, treasures, and talents. And there are several sign-up sheets in the back. Sign-up sheets? Did I slurred that a little? But in the back of the sanctuary, so please consider signing them up, and we'll move forward in a new light of a new year coming on. So With that, that's my announcements, but we are always online each Sunday, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. Don't forget to tell your friends, and the board meeting about 11:30 today. The Zoom link will be provided in the Unity of Kona comment page on the Facebook. And so for the Daily Word, we have Dondi doing the Daily Word for us today. So let's give Dondi a big hand.
Aloha kakayaka, everyone. The word for today is joy. Joyfully, I celebrate my oneness with God. As the three wise men followed the star to Bethlehem to greet the newborn child, I follow my inner light and discover the Christ within. As I approach the conclusion of Advent season, I realize that this, rather than material goods or creature comforts, is the source of my joy. The Christ within is the part of me that is always one with God. Omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence. When I face challenging times, I can draw from that inner wellspring of joy, my foundation of irrepressible strength and fortitude. I have within me the power to overcome any challenge. This day, this moment, I am joy-filled, and I celebrate the overflowing blessings of my divinity. And the verse for today from Matthew 2:10 says, when they saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. Again, Matthew 2:10. Again, joy. And if you'll say the affirmation, joyfully I celebrate my oneness with God. Mahalo.
Thank you, Dondi. And with joy in our hearts, it's time to do our Advent lighting candles. And so we'll ask Candy and Steve-O to come up and do this candle lighting ceremony for us. Thank you so much, folks, for participating here this morning.
Think about the joy. Joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. Today, we can choose to live a life filled with hope and faith, peace, love, and joy. Let us remember today to bring a spirit of joy to all that we do. It is a gift to be giving. Let us give the gift of a tender smile, a heartfelt prayer, a helping hand, or a kind word, and let that joy bubble and your heart sing.
We're going to light the first candle. So light the purple candle. We relight the first candle on the Advent wreath for hope and faith. Okay. We relight the second candle of the Advent wreath for peace. We relight the third candle of the Advent wreath for love. And we relight the fourth candle of the Advent wreath for joy. We allow joy to flow through us and express as us in all circumstances to all people. Let us pray. Father, Mother, God, Great Spirit of truth, mahalo for the joy in our hearts during this Christmas season. Mahalo for the truth that joy is a great harmonizer and healer of our body, mind, and spirit. It is the joy of the Lord that gives us strength to be a shining light in the world.
And as we have the joy in our hearts, we take a moment to just visualize this joy in the presence of the Spirit within. And as we visualize the sanctuary, visualize now the sanctuary of your soul. See this place as a beautiful heart. And as you feel the loving energy of those around you, feel it flowing in and through you. See the loving energy flowing around every person, every being on this earth and in this world. And if you know of anyone in your life or in this world in need of prayer, let's take a moment now and see them in the center of what we've just created, the most beautiful, sacred heart. As we come together to say our prayer for protection. For the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. And now is the time in our service. We'll ask Neil Barnett to come up and do some music for us. Thank you, Neil, for joining us this morning.
It's my first time with a microphone, sorry. So I have to change the face of this. That's okay. Technology helps. So I asked to learn this song, and so, obviously I've heard it 1,000 times in my life. But to play it, it's great. The song's called Joy to the World. First time. Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare his room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks and hills and plains repeat the sound in joy, repeat the sound in joy, repeat the sound in joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. Thank you.
Speaking of joy, definitely, the joy is in our heart, joy is in our sanctuary. And now we are honored and pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Kayla Harvey. Kayla is a licensed mental health counselor and motivational speaker, quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner, and she recently heard the call towards her licensed Unity teacher certification. Kayla sits on the board as vice president of trustees, as the president of trustees, and Unity of Kona, and here is a leader for the children's ministry for over 7 years. Her and her husband, Patrick, conduct the sound baths and healing service. And so, my friends, with Kayla's talk today of Christ Mass, expect an arrival of your own divine nature. I now introduce Kayla Harvey. Thank you, Kayla.
Okay, let's get ready for a meditation. So go ahead and find yourself a comfortable spot. Just rest and relax the body. Shut your eyes if that feels good. And let your arms hang by your side. Feel the muscles softening, resting into your chair, and centering at the core of your being. We ground ourselves. We connect to the collective consciousness and tap into that Christmas spirit we feel beginning to fill the air all around the planet at this time. The Christmas spirit we feel all around us. Begin to feel a warmth spread across your heart. A joy and excitement builds within the body as we become receptive vehicles for the wonder and enlightenment of the Christ consciousness. As we turn inwards and look deep within, we too can feel this awareness getting ready to emerge and expand from our center. With so much yet to unfold, we embrace the uncertainty as we bravely move ahead with faith. We begin to feel the anticipation and imagine all new possibilities coming this next year. We know it holds so much for all of us in perfect order. As we recall and hear parts of the Christmas story and all its characters, we recognize each as a divine part of ourselves. Through this Advent season, we've reflected upon hope, peace, love, and joy that reside within us as we become the beacon of light this Christmas season. Feeling the wonder of the holy within and all around us, we take a moment to rest in this feeling. Let us shine our inner light as we release the limitations. We rest in the knowing that miracles are on their way. Begin to bring your presence back into this room, back into your body. Come back into this space together as we bring with it the love, the peace, and the joy in this space. All right. Thank you for coming back into this room. The holiday season is an intense time for many. It's intense with deadlines. It's intense missing family. It can be intense with pain of disconnect and lack. And there can also be immense joy and celebration. All of this together. Whatever you're experiencing currently, there is this sort of odd expectation or expectancy in the air we can all feel. Spiritually, the Christmas season is a time to remind ourselves to expect the arrival of our own divine nature. See, the birth of Christ reminds us of that Christ consciousness ever awakening within us. December 25th being the actual birth of Christ doesn't really matter. The date is somewhat irrelevant, but what is true is that there's immense power in this collective consciousness of humanity that is at this time currently focusing on hope, peace, love, and joy this holiday season. And it presents to us an opening an invitation for us to lean in and explore that. And as this calendar year comes to a close, let's get curious and explore this opening and nurture this opening for us with joy. See, in our busy lives as adults, we often get caught up on all the holiday tasks, don't we? And all of the madness that can happen at year end. Additionally, holidays can bring up hard memories for some. There can be both pain and busyness that has us rooted in this material world at times. Maybe at work, we're busy completing end-of-year projects. Maybe you're working ahead to get a few days off. At home, you may be finishing those Christmas letters, buying remaining gifts, or planning gatherings. Sometimes we end up running around, doing checklists, and we lose track of what this season is really all about. And we might lose ways to connect with this spiritual opening that's present for us at this time. If we look deep, there are a lot of great metaphysical meanings in every part of the Christmas story and this time for us. They contain a lot of metaphors for birth, spiritual journeys, inner growth, and awakening for us here. I love doing talks because I get to do a lot of research. I get to lean into all of the great works and writings that are out there to be explored. So I found in the January 1912 Unity magazine, Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, writes this interpretation of the Jesus story and how he came about from Luke 2. And this is what he writes about the actual birth of Christ. He writes, "The birth of Christ is the beginning in the inner realms of consciousness of a higher set of faculties that when grown in full stature, save the whole man from ignorance of separation and from missing the mark in life. It is a growth in man as tangible to those who reach certain stages as in the child in the mother. In the beginnings, it is mere quickening flutter right under the stomach with quite often unusual sensitivities in emotional nature. We do not, in the first stages of this process, understand it, and sometimes are moved to put it away from us." I found this incredibly interesting. See, in this excerpt, he not only illumines this potential that exists within all of us, that Christ consciousness ever growing, even when we're not aware of it, but he also highlights the important part here of our awakening of our divine nature happening in stages. And see, it often does start with this discontent or negative emotional states. That might not always feel like an awakening of sense. But see, this can create pain of disillusionment, and it highlights desire for something different. And it can actually create openings for thoughts beyond the tangible. Every stage is important. Every part is a part of the process, and it's important to remember it is a process. So at some stages, a clearing is necessitated, right? Old beliefs may be being purged, brought forth to be challenged, to be cleansed. At other times in our journey, we have great epiphanies. We have insight, bliss we may feel in our body, in our emotional states. And like birth, there are times when we're germinating new ideas, when we might feel the morning sickness of distaste for change. Times when we're riding a high of inner waves of love hormones that come on. All of these things happen as a part of the awakening journey. Wherever you are in your process is perfect. You're right where you need to be. And everything happening to you right now is a part of that ever-growing awakening. You see, we talk a lot about Christ consciousness here, yet we don't often define it. So what does that mean for us? I got really curious about the definition, about how we describe this, and again, found something really interesting. I go searching truthunity.net, and you can find so many readings. And this I found as a concept that's part of the Unity Correspondence School that was started in 1909, if you can believe it. Before there was ever a church, before there was ever an actual school, there was just healings happening. And in fact, Unity Correspondence School was started because of someone's immense desire. Someone wrote to the movement and said, "I am ready for your lesson 1. Please send it right away." They didn't have lessons, but they thought, oh, wow, this person is ready for something to be born here. I think let's birth it. So this is in series 1, lesson 5. They describe parts of what Christ consciousness means. It states, the Christ consciousness is the Son of God consciousness in man, the state of consciousness in which the soul and the body are in harmony with divine mind, and all ideas and all faculties are in orderly adjustment and expressing in just the right relationship. It's man's supreme awareness of the pattern of perfection that I am. It continues stating, it is the truth-filled consciousness that sees things from their beginning in cause. It therefore sees only one being, sees only absolute good. Continues stating, the Christ consciousness is man's knowing within his own being that he is the Son of God, that I and the Father are one, as in John 10:30. Finally, it states, when man understands this so that he uses Christ's power, ordering his life and modes of thoughts by it, he is going towards that Christ consciousness. When under many forms and varied manifestations of the world, he recognizes that one life, vibrant in every atom, recognizing the hidden love enfolding all in oneness, he comes into conscious touch with this hidden life of love. Then he feels himself to be one with all life. Then he touches Christ consciousness. No longer does he seek to fight forms which he does not feel in harmony with. Instead, he seeks contact with the life beyond the form. And as a result, the outer world becomes attuned or ceases to touch him. This excerpt hit me. And it felt so beautiful, so hopeful, that this is the thing that we're searching for, to get to the state of inner oneness, full knowing that we are connected with everything and everyone, seeing that hidden life of love in every atom and everything. And as the outer world comes, it either attunes to where we are or it does not touch us, because we are in love and oneness. And just hearing that, I know this is what we all want. And we take this knowing that we are ever in this process, that this is what is unfolding, and we can choose then to engage it. And we do so with something we call positive expectancy. Dennis Waitley, a behavioral scientist, states that psyche, or mind, is the best fortune teller or forecaster of body or soma. That to understand the psychosomatic mind-body connection is the key to understand the one most important identifying quality of winners of anything. And that's positive self-expectancy. And he's quoted saying, "Positive self-expectancy is pure and simple optimism, real enthusiasm for everything you do. There's never a winner who didn't expect to win in advance. Winners understand that life is a self-fulfilling prophecy." And we talk about this because we use this to know that we are on the path. And knowing this draws that ever closer to us. Your perfect path with Spirit. I have a fun story that exemplifies this well. It's called Positive Expectancy by Bill O'Hanlon. And it states, "It seems that one year there was a class of students who were so unruly that they burned out 2 different teachers. One teacher took early retirement, and the other decided to get out of teaching altogether. This class was so bad that substitute teachers even began to refuse to take it. So the district called a teacher who had applied for a job that year and hadn't quite made the cut. They asked her if she'd be willing to come in and finish out the year in return for a promise of a full-time position the next year. She eagerly accepted. Oh, absolutely, great, yes. The principal decided maybe not to warn the teacher about the class, afraid that she would run off hearing how difficult it was. But after the new teacher had been there on the job for about a month, which was incredible, the principal sat in to observe the class just to see how things were going. To his amazement, the students were well behaved and enthusiastic. Wow, he just couldn't believe his eyes. So after the students had filed out of the classroom, the principal stayed behind to congratulate the teacher on a job well done. But she thanked him instead and insisted that he deserved the thanks for giving her such a special class for her first assignment. The principal sort of hemmed and hawed and told her he really didn't deserve any thanks. But she told him, "You see, I discovered your little secret on my first day here. I looked in the desk drawer and I found the list of the students' IQ scores. I knew that I had a challenging group of kids here, so bright, so rambunctious, that I would really need to work hard to make school interesting for them because they were so intelligent." She slid the drawer open, and the principal saw the list of students' names and the numbers listed next to them. 136, 145, 127, 128, and so on, written next to their names. "Oh," he exclaimed, "oh, those aren't their IQ scores, those were the locker numbers." But it was too late. The teacher had already expected the students to be bright and gifted, and they responded positively to her positive view and her positive handling of them. It was her belief that created how she acted in that classroom. It was her belief that created that peace and positivity. And this is a great example of how we can use our belief of positive expectancy to invite, encourage, and anchor in that Christ consciousness. So how then do we expect the arrival of our divine nature? How can we utilize this? How do we prepare and nurture the Christ consciousness as it unfolds? Well, humans have a lot of ways of preparing for things, right? When we're expecting something or someone, especially a baby, for example, we do a lot of things like clean, we stock up, we prepare a scene, we gain information, we might make plans. Sounds a lot like the holidays, doesn't it? We do a lot of these things. The question is this the best way to prepare for the arrival of our divine nature? I fondly remember my mom getting prepared for my auntie and her family to arrive. And it would be for any sort of holiday or gathering. And it was quite funny. At first, a very stressful time. And then I learned to step back and just sort of laugh and observe the situation. But my mom loves her sister so much, very excited for her to come. And my sister and I loved her kids. It was a really joyous occasion. Ironically, the time before they came was the worst time to be in my household. Just terrible. Everything was chaotic and frantic. And I remember my mom running around with feelings of stress and overwhelm and being angry because there just wasn't enough time to do all the things. You learn to stay out of the way very quickly. But what was sad and what I noticed is that my mom didn't really feel any joy until they arrived. And even then, her joy was sort of hampered by this exhaustion and burnout from all that she did before that. And thanks, Mom, I can relate to some of that. You know, you see yourself in these stories after you say them and you're like, oh, dang, yeah. Points to work on. Okay, but I'm just wondering, noticing that and thinking about that, although that's one method to prepare for a physical arrival, I noticed it didn't really do much for the spirit or for the emotional body, right? And as we've discussed before, being thankful for or excited for something after it arrives doesn't really help bring in or manifest that situation originally. So, as we've talked about before, what we really need to do is actually match the vibrational frequency of what we're wanting to bring in. So it kind of makes sense that the best way to prepare might be actually to be more like the Christ Spirit, to love, to give, and to be joyful. So maybe instead of seeking happiness, which has its root words in the Norse and Middle English word hap, which means luck or good fortune, we might choose to seek joy, which has its roots in the Latin word gaudia, or inner gladness, and the French word joyer, or delight. So instead of waiting for good fortune, let's go within and seek joy. You know, some of the best ways to do this are trying to see Christmas through the child's eyes. Isn't it always more fun to decorate, to buy gifts, to make cookies when there's a kiddo involved? See, children and babies remind us of this innocence, this preciousness. They remind us of our own pure nature, and they bring out that unconditional love we have inside ourselves. Last weekend, Patrick and I attended this drum-making workshop, some of you know, and it's a very ceremonial experience. And we got a little bit lost, and we were running a little bit late, and so it was a little hectic of a start. And I did not want to start a fun ceremony that way. It wasn't as joyful in the beginning, so we arrived a little haggard. And we get out of the car, and she tells us right away, oh, just so you know, there's a baby here, and the baby's going to be a part of it, and the baby's a little older than I had assumed, so there's going to be some distractions. Is that okay with you guys? Sure, yeah, that's fine with us. I can see where some people might find that distressing. I didn't think anything of it. That was fine. So this 9-month-old sat with Mom with his own little drum, and yes, he did make noise. And yes, he did shift the attention. And it was exactly what I needed. His sweet little presence brought this playfulness and this lightness to the gathering. See, little ones are so pure and innocent, and it was clear he had no judgment. Babies and young children help us reframe what's important and get a different perspective. See, small children are very present. They're focused on what's happening right here and now, what they feel right in this moment. They're honest, they're loving, and they see magic in everything. Though their cognition may not be as developed as ours, they actually possess a lot of Christ consciousness. And it's this we can seek to emulate. You see, your inner child is still with you every day. And this is why doing inner child healing and inner child work is actually spiritual work. Because we're realigning with that part of ourself, that natural essence, who we were before the world imposed its constraints and beliefs. So this holiday season, we can protect and lean into that inner Christ child. We do so by being childlike, getting into a state of presence, non-judgment, and joy. This holiday, I encourage you to bring that part of you out, that part that's carefree, playful, and lives in wonderment of everything. Consider ways you used to play as a child and ways you see child playing now. Things that delight you. Get excited about the arrival of our divine nature. Celebrate, dance, sing, share. Anybody ever see that movie Elf? It's one of my favorites. It's just a fun one. If you haven't, it's Will Ferrell, who's raised in the North Pole as an elf, obviously quite larger than everyone else. And he eventually goes to New York, dressed as his elf self, to meet his real father. Well, one of my favorite lines in this sort of ridiculous little movie is when Buddy the Elf, his character self, Will Ferrell, explains the best way to build Christmas cheer. And he says, "The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear." And I think there's real truth to this, right? I think a lot of us love Christmas music after Thanksgiving and after Thanksgiving and not after New Year's. But in that little window, a lot of us love Christmas music, right? And it can bring you back to that. Well, in fact, Charles Fillmore also describes the curative and joyful powers of singing. In the book, The Essential Charles Fillmore, Collections of Writings and Commentary by Jim Gaither, he quoted Charles Fillmore talking about how singing is positively correlated with happiness and health, how it increases our circulation, and how it naturally stimulates the currents in the body. He shares how each word we speak, and even more so the words we sing, vibrate and communicate with every cell in our body. And as behind all good music is the thought of joy, this is what we send our body and every cell when we sing. So don't just sing when you feel inspired and joyful. In fact, sing to build joy and cheer. So use that as a way to cultivate this joy and be excited about your divine arrival. The other best way to build that cheer during the holidays is to give it. See, when we give something, it is then amplified. It's a surefire way to build cheer and increase it within yourself. Any of you seen the show Friends? Maybe you've seen a few episodes. I've seen some here and there. But I saw one that they have this ridiculous episode where they go through all these silly antics, as in all these shows, right? And at the end, they decide that, you're right, there is no selfless act. It's an absurd show, absurd episode. Anyway, I'm thinking, that's actually not such a bad thing, is it? And it makes sense to me, and maybe this is by design. Because we are all connected. So yes, there is no way to inspire someone else without inspiring yourself. See, our frequency can be felt from all those around us. And when we add love or joy to something, that love or joy creates a ripple effect in our world. This is one reason it feels so good to do things like participate in our angel tree, to give to these families and these children. Our joy is amplified when we give joy to others, and there is no joy compared to the joy of a child opening up a present on Christmas. So this holiday season, I encourage you to be the cheer you want to feel, to reach inside, attune to it anywhere you can find it, and spread it everywhere you can. Let's go out into our week and invite more of this Christ consciousness within by being the embodiment. Live by positive expectancy, give from your heart, and sing loud for all to hear. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kayla. What an amazing talk about joy and sharing that welling up inside delight. And so with the delight and life we have, hold the gifts and your offerings in your hand as we'll do our offertory statement. Should be on the board. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. Thank you so much. And now we have some more music coming with Neil. Thank you, Neil. Spreading the joy. Spreading the joy through song.
Okay.
In the eyes of a child.
Well, I got to share something. That was awesome, Billy. And so before I play, it just came to me that, you know, there's that saying, the song remains the same, but it's not the same. And because, example, I'm blessed on the second Saturday of every month to play the same place. And I'm not going to advertise, so I'll just explain that I play the same place every Friday, generally, and I love it, and I'm blessed to do that. But the difference in this other place is that it's outdoors, and a lot of families show up. And 8 days ago, like the same time every month, there's more families. So these little kids are like to my left and to my right. And I even post it, and I say, you know, thank heavens for that, because they're all going like this, the songs that they've never heard before. They're like 4 or 5 years old. Twist and shout. They haven't heard that before. They're like going mental. But you see, the difference is the song doesn't remain the same, because on a different night where you all might be there, you know, and it's people of, you know, our age and younger, they're all like, to get to that same state of frame of mind, we all got to have like 4 or 5 gin and tonics or something, right? But they're naturally that way. And I got to share a funny story with you, because I like that movie Elf too, you know, and I like to have my Will Ferrell moments for myself, you know. And so I have, this is a guitar, right? So if you're, I know some of you have seen it. Right in front of me it's my tip jar, essentially. It's a little box, and it looks like it's a little ukulele holder, but it's not. It's too small. It used to be a bottle of, it had a great bottle of scotch in it actually once, you know, but that, you know. So it's small, but it looks like it holds a small ukulele or a small guitar. So I'm playing one of my little solo gigs, and this little boy comes up. He goes, and I think, oh, good, kids, because I like kids coming up. He goes, what's that for? What does that do? The little box. And I go, well, you know, it's where I put my guitar back in later. Will Ferrell, right? And he goes, you're an idiot. And I go, I can't beat that. It's like, oh. I'm going, what's the words to this song again? You know? Oh my God. So thank you for telling about the kids things, because that's something I look for. I especially look for it that Saturday, but my gosh, it's definitely, they definitely know how to do a better job of having a good time. All right, anyway, here we go. Christmas time. It's the great Harry Belafonte. Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels singing, new King born today. And man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Well, shepherds watch their flocks by night and spread new shining stars. They heard a choir sing a song, the music came from afar. Hark now, hear the angels singing, new King born today. And man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Now Joseph and his wife Mary came to Bethlehem that night. They found no place to bear their child, and not a single room inside. Hark now, hear the angels singing, new King born today. And man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. By and by they found a little nook in a stable all forlorn. And in a manger cold and dark, little Mary's child was born. Hark now, hear the angels singing, new King born today. And man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Oh, one more verse. Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, Mary's born child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels singing, new King born today. And man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Neil. God bless you. Thank you so much for sharing your joy and talent and time with us today. And so what an honor it is to be here in this day as we have our ushers coming forward. We'll bless these gifts and offerings. As we come together, we know that through Spirit, we do know that as we give, so shall we receive. And so we now dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will, your work, in this ministry and in our lives. And so it is. Thank you, God. Mahalo keakua. God bless you all. And it's time to gather with our singers on board and making a circle here in the sanctuary to do our closing songs. And in closing, please do feel free to join us for the Facebook event with the board meeting happening about 11:30 today. Next Sunday, guest speaker, Reverend Sophia Falke, her topic, Christmas Candle Lighting Celebration. So sign up the clipboard so we got everybody ready for next Sunday service. And until then, we'll do our closing songs. Let there be peace on earth and aloha oi. Uh-oh. We'll come in the middle there. There we go.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And as we hold the joy in our hearts of this wonderful Christmas season, be the child. Act like the child. Express your child and share the light of love that's God within you. And until we meet again, let's do Aloha Oi.
Aloha oi, aloha oi, e ke ona ona no I kalipo. One fond embrace, a-o-ya-yao, until we meet again.
Hui ho, aloha. There's snacks upstairs for anybody who wants to join us. Don't forget to take an angel card from the Xmas tree. Have a fabulous week, everybody. God bless you. And a little closing music. Maleki Maka coming on. So let's get ready for that.
We're going to do Meleki Maka?
All right. We'll just do this.